hope you're well. I hope you're having a lovely week. So if you are new here, then I'm guessing you have found me from this video. So I'm guessing you are either a aspiring fashion student, maybe you're just a fashion student who likes watching these videos. I know I like watching these videos myself. Oh god, this dog is driving me crazy. You're driving me crazy. I just want to film this video and then I'll take you out. Say I love you, everyone. Have happy filming. Everyone subscribe, like and subscribe. Woo! Yeah, so I'm guessing you are either a aspiring fashion student or maybe you already are one and you just like watching these videos. I know that I like watching these videos. I just like to see what other like courses are like. So I thought I would just start this video by kind of introducing like myself and introducing what course I personally chose to take, etc. So I am currently in my second year of fashion business and promotion at Birmingham City University. So if you do like watch my videos, and obviously this is like kind of a different video, but I know that when I was applying to university, I really struggled in the fact that literally no one, I think, in my whole sixth form was going into fashion. I don't think, like, obviously a lot of popular courses are like law, business, like science, history, and there's obviously like designated teachers which you can kind of like ask for advice. When I told like my teacher that I was going to go down the fashion route, like they were kind of like, oh okay, like they didn't really have any like pointers for me, and I think that was one thing that like kind of was a negative of going to sixth form, because I didn't study any fashion subjects. I'll kind of get into this after, but I thought I would just kind of explain why I thought this video was like important to film. No one could really tell me like what was good to have in my personal statement. No one could tell me literally anything because they didn't have any experience in students doing fashion at my school. So I kind of was watching YouTube videos, just like googling as much as I could. I really had to like find everything out myself. I didn't really have any advice. Like obviously my parents, I was the first child to go to university, etc, so they didn't have any knowledge on it at all. So I just thought this video is really like important, and I feel like it can help out some of you guys that maybe do want to go into fashion. So yeah, I am a second year student at Birmingham City University, and the degree that I chose to take was the fashion business and promotion course. So essentially my course is 50% creative and 50% business based. It was more important for me personally to know the business in and out, so that I could like launch my brand and just know that the business side of everything was like really solid, and then obviously like my designs and etc would just organically come. Yeah, so that's why I chose that course over like fashion design, fashion textiles, etc. I'm not really like into textiles myself. I am more of like a business kind of minded girl. So yeah, that's definitely why I chose that course, and I just felt like it would just suit me better. I'll give you like a bit of background. I just did like basic GCSEs, and then I went on to sixth form and I did history, sociology and religious studies. So obviously no fashion, and I was really worried like when I was applying to university like through UCAS and everything like that. I just was like, oh my god, like it was one of those things. I always knew that I wanted to do fashion, but I was like, god, like can I actually go through with it? Like I'm not at college studying fashion, so I really felt like I was held back by that. But there was nothing in the entry requirements, luckily for my course, that required fashion. They just wanted certain grades and certain expected grades, and I actually ended up getting offered an unconditional. So I asked over on my Instagram like if this video you would want it and if it would be helpful, and a lot of you guys said yeah. So I've got all the questions on here just because my phone is on charge. So I'm just gonna like kind of answer some of your guys' questions. I've also written a few down that like I personally would have wanted to know while applying. So the first question I'll answer, I don't know which one to answer first, like which one's most helpful. Maybe I'll start from the start. So, do I need to do fashion before uni? Now, I am a prime example of someone who had no fashion experience. I didn't have YouTube. I literally had nothing. Like my application was literally just academic. It was history, it was sociology, it was RE. Literally nothing like I had no creative aspect to my like personal statement or anything. It was literally just words and grades. I had nothing creative. I've always been lucky that like my Instagram's something that I've always like kind of cared about. I've always liked to take nice photos, so like I kind of explored that in my personal statement because it was the only thing that I could. Like I really like styling outfits together, and I just have always loved like the fashion industry, so I kind of just like spoke about that briefly in my personal statement just to kind of tie it in. And I think that some courses do require you to have like some sort of fashion course, but I feel like that's just more of like the prestige schools in like London that probably require you to have something like that. But I know that like my course, you didn't have to have anything. It was just a certain amount of like GCSEs and then a certain level in your A-levels. And then I had another similar question: do you have to submit fashion designs? And when I was actually like researching this course, I can't remember the website that I used to go on, but I would like research individual university courses. I'll link it below, or I'll put it on the screen if I find out. You can like put in your course and the university that you're like wanting to go to, and you get like reviews from like past students or like present students, and like they all kind of just talk about it. And then another website that I found really good, I think it's called like the Uni Room, I think. Again, I'll put it on the screen because it's been like 2 years since I did any of this. I remember everyone was talking about like having to have this big portfolio and you had to like present it in an interview, and I was thinking, oh my god, like what on earth do I show? Like I'm a 17-year-old girl studying history at sixth form, hoping to go into a fashion course, and I literally have nothing to show. And I was like, well, if that comes from it, then it's just something I would have to like create and hope that it like got me in. But then when I applied like and I got like a first response from the university, the question was asked like about this whole like interview, and they were like, no, we don't do interviews, we just read your personal statement. And I was like, okay, great. So for my course personally, no, you didn't need a portfolio. You literally needed no experience before. So the first module we did was fashion business context, and that was basically you could do a like creative report on any area of the fashion industry. So you chose like either high street, luxury, streetwear, couture. You chose like a different like sector, and then you had to like apply a problem. So I think I did like how does like imitation designs affect luxury brands, and that whole module was supposed to bring like every student up to like a similar level in like knowledge of the business side of the industry. So I feel like when you go, like it seemed really scary and like, I was so nervous going into uni, but I feel like my lectures especially, like, and my course, it just made it really easy to like organically go into the course, and it brought everyone up to like a similar level. So like you didn't feel like, because obviously I had no experience, like I didn't feel that I was behind anyone. So another question that I've got is, do you find it bitchy as fashion is mainly a female subject? And my course is definitely female dominated. I think there is 5 boys, and I think there's like 60 or 70 people on the course. So obviously it's like a 12th boys, like 1/12 is boys. Obviously it's just a small percentage, so you would think, and like it's definitely something I thought, oh my god, like that many girls all together, surely it will be. But I personally haven't found anything. Like all the girls in my course that I've ever like spoke to or anything have all been like really friendly and like just really nice girls. Obviously it's nice because we all have a certain interest, so it's always like a nice conversation starter. It's not like you've been thrown together with a group of girls that have nothing in common. But no, I wouldn't say it's bitchy, but I know why you would think that, because it's definitely something I was a bit worried about. And then another question like kind of leading on from this is there a pressure to dress a certain way? Again, this is something that I was like, oh god, like every day I'm gonna have to do my hair and makeup, I'm gonna have to wear something really like cool and stylish. And obviously like you think, oh my god, you're on a fashion course, of course you're gonna have to like be on trend and be really fashionable. But to be honest, I would say most of us turn up in like tracksuits, no makeup, hair in a bun. Like people come in hungover. Like there's really not, I don't feel a pressure. Like sometimes I do think, oh, I'll put something nice on, I'm going to uni, but I wouldn't say there's a pressure Like, some people make an effort and always look really, really cool. Some people just rock up in a tracksuit that they've probably threw on like 5 minutes before they've left. So I wouldn't say there's a pressure. I feel like my course is just really chilled. Like, the lecturers are really friendly. Like, it's a very like nice environment, like very friendly and like calm. So I wouldn't say that there's a pressure. So another question that I got is, what modules do you do? So essentially my course covers every single like business aspect of the fashion industry. So I'll just run through the modules. So in the first year we did fashion business context, which I mentioned earlier. We did trends forecasting, buying and merchandising, and visual merchandising. So basically, trend forecasting is where you forecast a trend and like you had to justify it. Buying and merchandising was actually a live project. So we worked with River Island and we actually got to design a capsule collection for them for spring summer 21, which I feel like was so cool. Like, it was really exciting. Like, we got to fully design our own clothes. And then visual merchandising was again like a live project which we worked with Selfridges on, and that was to come up with a visual merchandising campaign for like Project Earth, it was called. So that was a group project which was interesting because we were in lockdown. So in second year the modules are marketing and PR, international retailing, events management, and then it's either a work placement or like a collaborative project within the School of Fashion. So another question I got is, do you get to go on lots of cool trips? And we've been on 2 trips. I wouldn't say either of them were like especially cool. So we went to see the Mary Queen exhibition at the V&A Museum at the start of first year, and then we went to London again. I'm pretty sure that the equivalent course to mine in Nottingham Trent, I'm pretty sure they go to like New York or something, but I don't think my course really does. I know that some unis really do like go for it on the whole trip front, so I would say mine doesn't, but I'm sure that other courses around the country do. So then another question that I got is, what careers can you go into from your course? So literally anything. Like, so just off the top of my head, I've got marketing, digital marketing, actual product design, graphic design, PR, a buyer, a merchandiser, an event planner, literally everything. So like visual merchandiser, social media analytics, like influencer marketing. You can literally go into any job, and I feel like that is just why I love the course. Like, so many people on the course like are going into completely different areas. So like, for example, I really want to go into like buying and buying and styling, whereas like my best friend wants to go into marketing. So it's completely different, and literally any area of the fashion industry. It doesn't even have to be the fashion industry. Like, you could go and market for a building firm. Do you know what? Like, it literally, you can go into literally any job. So another question is, what equipment do you use? So I like don't feel like you need anything special. When I first, so the month, like the August before I went into uni, when I started, I bought myself a MacBook Air as kind of like a treat. I always wanted to buy myself one. I'd done really well in my A-levels. I'd got into my dream like uni course. I was really happy, so I bought myself a MacBook Air and love it. That's really like the only thing that I feel like we use, but not everyone has like MacBooks. People use any laptop, so I feel like you need a laptop. And then we don't buy this ourselves, but our uni supply us with a subscription to the whole Adobe Creative Cloud software. So that's Photoshop, InDesign, Illustrator, After Effects, Premiere Pro, Spark. So another question is, how often do you go into uni? So pre-COVID I was going in 3 times a week, and it was pretty much like full days. Now we're solely online. I have 3 days pretty much full of lectures and tutorials and like group meetings, and then I have 2 days off. So it's pretty much like 3 days at uni, 2 days off, which are called like self-directed days, which is like where I try and have a like break and a day off, do YouTube, do Instagram. And then another question I got was, do you work with actual like brands? So we've worked with with Ryland on buying and merchandising, Selfridges on visual merchandising, and then with marketing and PR, we didn't work with a brand, but we worked with a big like marketing communications company. So then another question was, is it coursework or exams? So my course is solely like coursework, so each module has a deadline and there's like coursework in for that date, so we produce a project. There's pros and cons. Like I know a few of my friends that don't have coursework, they just have exams. Like their uni life is pretty chilled for like a few months, and then it really like ramps up around exam week, and then obviously like they're really revising and whatnot, so they kind of like go like that, whereas our course is very much just like this. Like we get a brief, we have a deadline, we work to that deadline, we submit, we have another brief, we do the work, we have a deadline. So like it's very just like there's like constantly work to do, whereas I was very used to in A level like not really doing a lot, like having my lessons, doing a little bit of like homework, and then not really thinking about it until the actual exam itself. So it was definitely like something to adjust to, but I do like it. Like I love coming up with like creative things, and I feel like this course couldn't be graded on an exam. Like it's so subjective and so creative, and there's so much like initial research that goes into everything. I feel like it just couldn't really work. I hope that this video like gave you a little bit of like reassurance that you don't have to have like mad fashion experience to go into fashion business at university, because I definitely didn't, and I'm still like doing really well. I'm achieving really high grades, I'm really enjoying myself. So yeah, I hope it gave you a little bit of reassurance if you are someone that's going into fashion. If you are, please DM me or comment down below. Like I'd love to ask what uni you're going to and what course you're doing and what you're hoping to get from it. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this little video, and maybe you just learned something about the course that I do if you're not someone who's going into fashion yourself. But yeah, definitely comment any questions down below. Have a fabulous week, and I will see you next time. Bye guys.